Hey guys, Wrestling Rambles 89 is back again today with another reaction video. This time I'm going to be reacting to Stone Cold Steve Austin talking about the backstage reaction and his reaction to the Montreal Screwjob and the aftermath of that. Should be interesting. It's an incredibly controversial thing, and some people to this day some still believe it's a work, which I don't, but anyway, that's not what you're here for. Let's get started.
Here's one. My question is, what was your reaction at Survivor Series 1997 when the whole screw job happened in Montreal? And did you speak to Brett, Vince, or Sean that night after it had happened? And that's from old Sean over in New Zealand. Cat in New Zealand. Swig of coffee for you, Sean. Well, check it out. I remember when that went down, and it was an interesting night at the office because, I mean, obviously they kayfabed it for me. And, man, I didn't know whether to crap or wind my watch when that happened. I saw it go down. I was watching the monitor backstage, and, man, everything went into chaos. What in the wide, wide world of sports had just happened? And Brett was, extremely ticked off outside. He spit on Vince McMahon. I think he broke a few monitors. Sean hauled ass. I guess Earl Hebner hauled ass. Agents hauled ass, went backstage. And I was, man, Davey Boy and Owen walking around. I think originally they had went out to the ring to see what was going on with Brett. And then they came back and they were scurrying around. And, Brett was, their brother and brother-in-law. And they were concerned about what happened to him. And they didn't know what the hell was going on either. It was mass confusion. Yeah. And I was like, as the thing that went down with Vince and Brett in the locker room, whatever happened between Brett and Vince happened backstage in the dressing room. And I remember as I was grabbing my bags and getting ready to go down the road, I just wondered, what were we going to do as a company? At that time, Bret Hart was our world champion. He was the leader. He was, one of the best workers ever in the history of the business, in my opinion.
Oh, yes.
A guy that I love being in the ring with. And so I thought, as Bret went, so did the WWE. And so it was an interesting night, a very confusing night. And so anyway, everything worked itself out. But I don't remember speaking to Bret initially. I think I spoke to Vince the next day or two, and he just said, Steve, we got to keep going down the direction that we're going. Never talked to Sean about it. And it was an interesting night at the office, to say the least.
Okay. He never revealed too much. It sounds like he was as in the dark as anyone else, though he might also be covering a bit of it. But considering how much he likes Brett, and I think considers Brett a friend even, I think he would be leaning towards Brett if you made him pick a side and he had to be honest. I 100% believe it was a shoot, it wasn't a work. It was incredibly wrong. Bret Hart would have never, as people like to try and claim now, dropped the belt in the trash can. That was the complete opposite of who Bret was. Bret had it in his contract that he had creative control, and he got screwed on that. And the worst thing is, Vince McMahon, he offered Bret a big contract when Bret already got offered to go to WCW before, and Bret turned it down and stayed with Vince because he felt loyal to WWF. Then Vince went back on that deal. Then he screwed him out of creative control and the contract he did have. And then he tried to play the victim, which at least that got us the Attitude Era. But yeah, interesting to hear what someone actually there at the time thought. But I just thought you would be interested in hearing it too, so I thought I'd do a quick reaction for you. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and click the notifications bell if you haven't already. This is Wrestling Rambles 89, signing off.